understanding different types of Pisces and psychology behind them. Everyone says Pisces lives in a dream world, but maybe that's just because reality feels too small for you. You don't escape life, you absorb it. You pick up moods, memories, and meanings that other people overlook. You don't just hear words, you feel the space between them. And half the time, you can't even explain how you know what you know. You just do. Here's what's wild. Science actually backs that up. Studies on empathy show that people with higher emotional intelligence have more active mirror neurons, the parts of the brain that fire when you experience someone else's emotion. That means your sensitivity isn't too much. It's neurological awareness. But not every Pisces feels this magic the same way. There are three kinds. One feels emotion, one creates with it, and one transcends it completely. So if you've ever been told you're too emotional, too idealistic, too soft, stay right here. Because by the end of this, you'll realize your feelings aren't your weakness, they're your genius. Let's explore the psychology of Pisces and uncover how your heart sees what logic can't. Core archetype, the Pisces mind. Let's start with what really defines a Pisces. Pisces is mutable water, ruled by Neptune, the planet of dreams, empathy, and imagination. You're the last sign of the Zodiac, which means you've absorbed a little bit of everyone before you. That's why you understand people so effortlessly, not just what they say, but what they feel. In psychology, Pisces energy represents emotional intuition, the ability to process feeling as information. Your instincts don't come from logic, they come from connection. You don't think your way into understanding, you feel your way there. It's not magic, it's awareness. Neuroscience explains this through mirror neuron activity, the system in your brain that activates both when you feel something and when you witness someone else feeling it. It's empathy at a cellular level. That's why you can walk into a room and immediately sense the mood, the tension, or the story that no one's saying out loud. Your nervous system listens for tone, energy, and silence the way other people listen for words. But your emotional intelligence runs even deeper. The right and left sides of your brain, the creative and logical hemispheres, communicate more fluidly in intuitive thinkers. This interhemispheric integration allows you to translate emotion into meaning and imagination into truth. It's what makes you creative, sensitive, and visionary all at once. Still, that same openness can become a double-edged sword. Because when you feel everything, boundaries blur. You can absorb other people's pain until you mistake it for your own. You can drown in empathy when you forget to surface for yourself. The lesson for Pisces is this. Compassion doesn't mean absorption. It means awareness with boundaries. Your power lies in knowing what you feel and choosing what you carry. At your core, you're not lost in emotion. You're fluent in it. You don't live in dreams because you're disconnected. You live there because that's where reality begins. You don't escape the world, you reimagine it. First decan Pisces, the empath. If you're a first decan Pisces, born between February 19th and February 28th, your energy is ruled entirely by Neptune, the planet of dreams, intuition, and the unseen. You're the empath Pisces, the emotional mirror of the Zodiac. You don't just feel deeply, you feel accurately. You sense things before they're spoken, emotions before they're expressed. It's not imagination, it's attunement. In psychology, this relates to empathic resonance, the brain's ability to synchronize with another person's emotional state. You're tuned to people the way instruments are tuned to sound. Your mind and body respond to energy the same way ears respond to music. That's why silence can speak louder to you than words ever will. Neuroscience supports this sensitivity through your mirror neuron system, the network of cells that activates when we witness emotion in others. For Pisces, those pathways light up more vividly, allowing you to feel emotion as if it were your own. And the oxytocin response, our bonding hormone, amplifies that empathy even further. You're biologically wired for connection, but your compassion is both your strength and your struggle. You can become so focused on helping others heal that you forget your own boundaries. You absorb people's pain like water absorbing color, until it's hard to tell where they end and you begin. The lesson for this decan is containment without closing off. You don't have to stop feeling, you just have to direct it. Compassion doesn't mean carrying everything. It means understanding it without losing yourself in it. You are the empath Pisces, soft but strong, kind but discerning. You remind the world that empathy isn't weakness. It's awareness turned inward. You don't just feel the world, you translate it. You're the reminder that sensitivity isn't about fragility, it's about perception that runs deeper than sight. Second decan Pisces, the artist. If you're a second decan Pisces, born between March 1st and March 10th, you're ruled by Neptune and the Moon. Two energies that make you the emotional artist of the Zodiac. You're the artist Pisces, expressive, sensitive, and endlessly imaginative. You don't just feel emotion, you shape it. You turn feeling into form, chaos into color, silence into song. Art, for you, isn't decoration. It's therapy. It's how you process what can't be explained in words. In psychology, this is known as creative emotional processing, the use of imagination and expression to regulate emotion. You channel your inner world into creation, transforming feelings into meaning. It's not escapism, it's integration. You feel to create and you create to heal. Neuroscience shows that when we express emotions through creativity, the brain activates the default mode network, the system involved in imagination and self-reflection. At the same time, serotonin and dopamine levels balance, bringing calm and satisfaction. That's why creating, painting, writing, dancing, composing, feels like release. It's your nervous system exhaling. But this moon influence also brings tides, emotional highs and lows that can pull you under if you don't ground yourself. You can become lost in fantasy or nostalgia, using art to avoid pain instead of expressing it. The lesson for this decan is to create for expression, not escape. Your imagination is a bridge, not a hiding place. You are the artist Pisces, intuitive, poetic, and healing by nature. You remind the world that emotion isn't something to suppress. It's something to sculpt. You don't just feel inspiration, you become it. Because for you, art isn't a choice. It's how your soul breathes. Third decan Pisces, the mystic. If you're a third decan Pisces, born between March 11th and March 20th, your chart is ruled by Neptune and Pluto, the planets of intuition and transformation. You're the mystic Pisces, the bridge between emotion and enlightenment. You don't just feel energy, you read it. You can sense patterns, connections, and cycles that most people only notice after they've unfolded. In psychology, this relates to transpersonal awareness, the expansion of consciousness beyond the personal self. It's the understanding that everything is connected. Every thought, every action, every person. You experience emotion not as reaction, but as information from something greater than yourself. Neuroscience offers a fascinating parallel. During deep meditation, creativity, or spiritual experiences, the brain enters a state called neural resonance, synchronization between regions responsible for intuition, imagination, and empathy. This creates a sense of unity, flow, and insight. You live in that frequency naturally. Your intuition functions like a quiet radar for emotional truth. But Pluto adds depth, and with depth comes intensity. You can become so immersed in emotional or spiritual transformation that it becomes identity. Sometimes you mistake healing for suffering, thinking growth must always be painful. The lesson for this decan is transformation through trust. You don't need to destroy yourself to evolve, you just need to allow change to happen. Surrender doesn't mean giving up, it means aligning with the current instead of fighting it. You are the mystic Pisces, wise, intuitive, and infinitely compassionate. You remind the world that spirituality isn't about escape, it's about awareness. You see through illusions, not because you reject the world, but because you understand it from the inside out. You don't need to chase enlightenment, you carry it in your empathy. Pisces teaches us that emotion isn't weakness, it's wisdom. The first decan feels deeply, the second creates freely, and the third transcends completely. Together, you show that empathy isn't about pain. It's about perception. You don't just live in emotion, You translate it into understanding. You don't run from reality. You reimagine it. Your sensitivity isn't fragile. It's intuitive. It's how you know what others haven't yet learned to say. So, which Pisces are you? The empath, the artist, or the mystic? Drop your decan in the comments and tell me how your heart turns feeling into wisdom. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to get all the updates.